another one.
Software developer to QA automation engineer. What's going on here? What in the world is going on here? So it says, I want to move from software development to quality assurance automation. Does it? Grammar, people, grammar. Is it worth it? All right, so the first thing, if you're going to be moving to QA, you have to be very, very meticulous. And starting off your question with the typo, that is not the way to do it.
Bruh.
I was working as a Java Python developer, plus working on databases and servers for 6 years, and got too stressed from working on weekends and evenings. Tight deadlines, etc. On the other side, I always like testing. I am good at reading someone's code, and it seems much less stressful than what I am going through now. Does it the word does is not the same as is. Is it worth to switch to testing, although the salary may be less or not? And what would I have to learn / do to get a job in QA? So before I bring on the clone for this, I'm going to say the first thing that you would have to do is get your grammar up. Get your grammar up. All right, let's start a clock. So I'm going to employ the help of the AI clone on this one. Welcome in, AI clone. So I'm going to ask the question to the clone and see what it has to say.
Hi, I'm Tech Coach Ralph. How can I help?
Hey, Tech Coach Ralph. I have somebody with a question. They have a problem, right? So they said that they were working as a Java / Python developer, plus working on databases and servers for 6 years, but it was too stressful. They were working evenings, weekends, and they had tight deadlines. They could not handle it whatsoever. So they're wondering if they should be looking into switching into quality assurance. Will they have a less stressful life and job if they switch to QA? What are your thoughts?
Switching to quality assurance could free path. QA roles can vary widely in terms of.
I just hung up on the what you call it. I just hung up on the bot because it was not speaking. It wasn't coming through. Let me see why. Why are you not coming through? Let me see. I see it here. I know why. Hold on. I got it. All right, hold on. Calling again.
Hi, I'm Tech Coach Ralph. How can I help?
All right, Tech Coach Ralph, I'm going to ask you this question again. So I have somebody who was working as a Java / Python developer and databases for 6 years, but they say they are too damn stressed out because they have to work evenings, weekends. They have to, and they have tight deadlines, and they are so stressed. They hate it. So they're wondering if they should be looking towards switching to QA instead. What are your thoughts?
Switching to QA could be a smart move. It often offers more predictable hours and a healthier work-life balance compared to development roles. In QA, the focus is on ensuring quality and reliability, which can be less stressful than constant coding and debugging under tight deadlines. However, it's important to understand that QA also requires a specific skill set like automation and testing frameworks. If they enjoy problem solving and have an eye for detail, QA could be a great fit. Have they considered what aspects of their current role they enjoy and how those might translate into a QA position?
So they say that they're good at reading other people's code, just not writing their own code. And it seems that and they think that QA is a lot less stressful, but don't In QA, don't you get the what to test like towards the end of a sprint, and now you're trying to, it's like crunch time and you're trying to rush and trying to get everything by the deadline. Isn't the deadline tighter in QA than it is in software development?
In QA, the pressure can indeed spike towards the end of a sprint, especially if testing is left to the last minute. However, a proactive approach can alleviate this. By integrating QA early in the development process or shifting left, you can identify potential issues before they become critical. This collaboration helps manage deadlines more effectively. If your colleague is good at reading code, they can excel in QA by understanding how code should work and spotting discrepancies. It's about being proactive and working closely with developers to ensure a smoother process. How do they feel about collaborating with developers to improve the quality from the start?
How much of a pay cut would they be looking at if they were to switch from software development to QA?
Switching from software development to QA can sometimes mean a pay cut, but the extent varies greatly depending on factors like location, company, and individual experience. Generally, QA roles might offer slightly lower salaries than development, but this isn't a hard rule. If your colleague has strong skills in automation or specialized testing, they might maintain or even exceed their current salary. It's crucial to research specific companies and roles to get a clearer picture. Encouraging them to leverage their coding skills in QA could also help command a better salary. What aspects of QA are they most interested in exploring?
Last question, right? Last question. Do like because they're
All right,
complaining.
hit me with it.
All right, they're complaining that the as a developer that they have to work nights and weekends, right? Isn't it likely that as a QA engineer they'd also be working nights and weekends?
It's possible, but not as likely. In QA, the workload can vary. While you might face tight deadlines, especially towards the end of a sprint, the need for night and weekend work isn't as constant as in development. QA roles often focus on planning and automation, which can help manage workloads better. However, like any tech role, there might be times when you're on call or need to address urgent issues. It's about finding a balance and setting expectations with your team. How does your colleague feel about learning automation to streamline their process?
Thank you, Tech Coach Ralph. Clone. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Well, there you have it. I am satisfied with that answer by the clone. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think that answer was pretty accurate. I would say that if the developers are working nights and weekends, you might end up working nights and weekends as well, based on whatever deadlines that you have to meet. But that's about it. We're gonna wrap that question up. Thank you so much to the clone. That clone was on point on that one, regardless of how Mitch feels about the clone.
They say they want success, but they don't put in the time. Promises unkept, all this wasted energy's a crime. People with their eyes wide shut, just playing their part. But when it comes to commitment, they ain't got the heart. Tell me what's the point of dreaming big if you don't try? Why don't you wake up, get your dreams in line? You can't keep on waiting, cause it's your time to shine. Don't let the darkness cloud the path that you own. If you want success, then you gotta make it home. I see the potential in them, but they don't understand. Only chasing shadows, never stepping on the land. Words are just reflections, but actions tell the tale. When you want the prize, you gotta break the veil. Success is a road, but oh, it ain't a free ride. Why don't you wake up, get your dreams in line?